Well, I'd say Saturday night's edition of Collision was the best edition we've seen in a while. Since their really 2-month streak of having really good shows. Last hour, last week, or 2 weeks ago, and then last week was alright. This week felt good. This week felt improvement. I feel for Collision. Yeah. So, wrestledream. That's in, from where I stand, a week from now. Next Sunday. And looks to be building up a fairly good card. So, besides the matches already announced, let's get into some of the matches that were announced basically during Collision and Rampage. So, I did do a short covering the results of Rampage a bit. So, the Righteous, they won that 4-way tag team match for the number 1 contendership for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. So they will face Better Than You Baby, Adam Cole, and MJF at wrestledream. Despite Adam Cole seemingly injured at Dynamite, he is booked for wrestledream. Now I just wonder, because it seemed like the plan was to go with the Kingdom. That was not the case. Or at least plans changed. So I wonder why. Maybe it's the injury. Maybe they want to progress this bit longer. Maybe full gear. The Kingdom take the titles. I don't know. Maybe MJF for Sam Cole. I don't know. But that was a bit of a head scratcher. Although I'm liking what the Righteous have done the last few weeks. They also have a fun vignette on Collision. So yeah. Christian Cage retained his TNT Championship, quote unquote, or won it, whichever you want to say. Either way, a 3-win match for Luchasaurus and Darby Allin. Christian won, and he didn't pin Darby. He pinned Luchasaurus. And discovered that at wrestledream, it'll be a 2 out of 3 falls match between Darby and Christian Cage. Because Darby's pinned him twice. So apparently now, that is Christian's first title defense, quote unquote. That should be a good match. Yeah, I'm happy for Christian. I'm curious how this storyline with Luchasaurus will keep going. Julia Hart, I also mentioned. So, after a win over her match against Kiera Hogan, it was supposed to be Will Nightingale, but changed it. So after a win, Brody King called out for her Chris Statlander for wrestledream for the TBS Championship, and the match was made. Um, excuse me. Last we saw Julia on Collision. She was eyeing Chris Statlander. She beat Sky Blue on Rampage. And then, she won here against Kiera Hogan, getting a few matches together. So there you go. Quite curious because, and also for those who've been curious about Brody King's lack of action since Allin, he has cast, so the broken hand seemingly is in effect. However, around Malachi Black and by Matthews, the fact that we haven't heard anything about them being injured, it's certainly a mystery. Anyways, I'm curious to see how Julia's going to look. Salander has been great, and we've been begging for do something with Salrain. Yeah. It's up in the air. It's up in the air. But 2 wins back to back. Julia, I love what she's done with the gimmick, so yeah. Anyway, also, so we will get Will Ospreay again soon. So, just not too long ago, he beat Chris Jericho at All In Wembley last month. For wrestledream in Seattle, not only will we have Zack Sabre Jr. fighting Bryan Danielson, but we'll have Will Ospreay in a trios match. So it'll be Chris Jericho, Kota Ibushi, which again, these trios match again. I mean, instead of just Bushi versus. That's the thing, we haven't had a singles match for Ibushi yet on AEW television. So it'll be Omega, Jericho, and Ibushi versus Will Ospreay, Sammy Guevara, and Konosuke Takeshita. A unique, I would say, trios match. Because, well, Ospreay said best in a message at New Japan. He said that last time he saw Guevara, he put a bat in his face. So, this time he expects him to treat him like family, since they're in the family. So, there you go. And shake his hand and apologize. Huh. So, It's going to be kind of cool, though. So we get Jericho, Ospreay in the ring again. That's A. B. Kenny and Ospreay in the ring again. My guess is the rubber match, the trilogy, will be at Wrestle Kingdom in January. That's my guess. If they didn't do it at Wembley, they're going to do it at Wrestle Kingdom. And also, Ibushi and Ospreay in the ring again. Last I saw them in the ring together was when Ospreay won the IWGP World Heavyweight title from Ibushi. So there you go. So yeah, we'll see. Good stuff. Line up for Roast Stream. It's gonna be a fun card. Sadly, it seems no world title matches. Because the thing now is, with CM Punk fired, the real world title is not in effect. It's just none of that. And MJF gonna be defending, once again, the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. So yeah. But also Eddie Kingston gonna face Katsuyori Shibata. Which again, I'm not a fan of the Ring of Honor inclusion on the show. But the fact is, it does seem like it'll be a fun match. Shibata and Kingston. So, aspect I get. Feels good. Tony Khan kind of booking in right direction again. But nonetheless, thank y'all for joining me. Subscription in the corner. Click to subscribe and whatnot. Notification bell. When I post my videos and shorts. I did post a short, as I mentioned, for Rampage yesterday or on Saturday. So you can definitely keep your eyes open for that. I did tune into it. I didn't want to go over it too much because, while it's stacked and built, because Rampage Grand Slam and 2 hours. Didn't want to go over it too much, but I liked it. It was definitely the most compelling Rampage I've seen in a while. So, but yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, triple threat for the TNT Championship. Darby versus Christian. Luchasaurus. This is fun. So, originally, it was, as you expect, a handicap match between Christian and Luchasaurus versus Darby. Then quickly we saw a bit of dissension. Luchasaurus not happy. Well, yeah. It was a which sources because he was the TNT champion. But of course, Christian will have title. There was one spot which I'll get into. So Darby quickly trying to gain the upper hand. Do some powder and with Short's face, hit Suicide on Christian, taking him out. Hit Code Red in the ring. Hit Suicide knocking Luchasaurus into the barricade. So there we go for that. Darby went for a dive on the outside, but not much there. So there's a spot where Christian tried to use the title. No avail. And was just in the ring. Luchasaurus then saw the title, picked it up. Kevin Kelly noted that was the first time as champion Luchasaurus touched that title. So Christian was adamant, trying for him to give him the title. And there's that. Darby shoved them into each other. Used the bell and clobbered Luchasaurus with it. But only got in their fall. So Darby went for a coffin drop on Luchasaurus, hit it, but Christian shoved him out of the ring. Christian pinned Luchasaurus for the win. Now they can definitively say Christian Cage's TNT champion. So there we go. Once again, it's really glad, years ago, Christian being retired and thought to not rest again, and seeing him walk out at Allin, that moment was great. And now definitively winning the TNT Championship on AEW. Very good. Very good. So he gave a hug to Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus helped him on his shoulders as he celebrated. I feel like the turn is going to happen there. It's like one day Luchasaurus is going to have him on his shoulders, and instead it's a big electric chair. Just thought. So anyways, great stuff to open the show. Don Callis backstage with Takeshita Ospreay talking about the alliance. Jericho and Omega formed on Rampage. Talking about the challenge of them and Kota Ibushi. or wrestledream said, well, talked to someone in also in their corner in the form of Will Ospreay. They're going to beat him at wrestledream. Yeah. It's going to be a fun trios match, certainly you could say. Christian and Luchasaurus are backstage. Tony Schiavone. Christian said he was done with Darby Allin. Tony Schiavone said that was not to be. As he said, Tony Khan told him during the break that because Darby's beat him twice, that they will have a 2 out of 3 falls match at wrestledream for the TNT Championship. Christian was obviously pissed, calling out for Tony Khan, and he left. It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, I'm not. Darby's kind of bulletproof. Crowd absolutely loves him. Now, I'm not too big a fan of seeing him lose. Be on the losing end of these matches too much, but hey. Glad they're using Darby. And Christian and Luchasaurus. Hook and RVD. RVD returned for his AEW Collision debut. Last we saw him, he lost in a match versus Jack Perry for the FTW Championship. Case here. Face Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. This match didn't last long. I mean, just my opinion. I'm guessing this is this may imply that Jack Perry is closer to a return to television, if anything. I mean, this kind of, I don't know, this is more of a feel-good moment, I have to say. Red Rum by Hook, 5-star by RVD for the win. It's great to see RVD still at his age. Still look well. Now, they are using Angelo Parker and Matt Menard, but in the wrong way. if you ask me. I mean, it should be. The fact is, we got this fatal 4-way tag team match at WrestleDream. Edge, Hook, and Orange Cassidy and Knot, Parker and Menard kind of annoys me. I think it annoyed many. Hey Kingston challenged Shibata to a match at WrestleDream. Talked about how his win over Claudio on Wednesday. Now he has to defend both the New Japan Openweight Championship and the Ring of Honor World Championship. Talked about WrestleDream being the 1-year anniversary of Antonio Inoki. I was going to face somebody that will help do him the honor of honoring Inoki-san. And Shibata. So, yeah, think it'll be a good match. Hard-hitting affair between Kingston and Shibata. So I checked, and they said it will be for just the Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Openweight title. So, good thing. Because I was like, Shibata has that pure championship. So it's like too many titles. I don't know. Next up, Joey Hart versus Kiera Hogan. It was fine. Joey Hart won with the Heartless submission. Kiera Hogan tapped out. She wrenched on the hold more after the bell. And then after Sky Blue ran out, Brody King got in her face. And Joey Hart spewed black mist in Sky Blue's face. Pretty much blinded her. Brody King said that this chaos and stuff will not stop until they have the final boss, which is Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship, and called for her versus Joey Hart next week at WrestleDream. Julia took the mic and said, "But Chris, remember, the house always wins." And they left as officials were attending to both Kiera Hogan and Sky Blue. So, earlier, as much as I applauded Joey Hart and her morphing into the gimmick and the House of Black, which it's still kind of odd that the two other members are not on TV. We get two here, but Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. Anyways, as much as I applaud the gimmick and whatnot, the fact is, Saraya not being it feels like, really, Soraya won the title at Allin because she's not able to wrestle really a full-time schedule anymore. Chris defended her title against Ruby, which was a good match, quality match at All Out. Chris is having to fill in now. It's going to be Statlander versus Julie Hart, which is a unique match because we know how good Statlander is. Hart has been improving with this gimmick, but I'm not sure it's not going to be a long 10-minute match, I feel, but still the stigma is with Statlander not really a story. And with like a week, now again, last week we saw Julie Hart eye Chris Statlander while she was in action. But this story feels rushed. Only a week kind of build, or a couple weeks build, and we're getting this match. But hope for the best at WrestleDream, which is shaping up to be a good card, must say. Sup? We got the Righteous, Dutch, and Vincent. They were in looked like a garden, like, setup. Yeah, it was a unique setup. Talking about their win in the 4-way tag team match for number one contendership to face, and talked about Adam Cole, talked about MJF, which again, you're curious how Adam Cole's going to feel with his injury. So, yeah. And then Dutch was like, or no, Vincent sitting on like a long bench. He was like laughing in the camera. And he's like, you get what I'm saying? That seems to be his line. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, they're eerie. I mean, it isn't quite what the White family was, but it's on par with the gimmick, certainly. And so, yeah, I'm curious. Well, we're going to hear from MJF and Cole on Dynamite. So, curious to see how healthy they both are. I know they've been talking about how dinged up MJF has been as well. So, hopefully they're not very hurt and get to this match at WrestleDream. So we'll see. You got Jay White versus Andrade El Idolo. This was very good match, very good. as we had kind of expected out of these two. Didn't feel like all what these two could do. It was a bit like a preview as to like the next gears. But yeah, this is a good match. So Andrade, of course, targeting the knee of Jay White after some big shots, going for the figure eight. He had a big moonsault to the outside, taking out Bullet Club Gold. Back in the ring, he had a double moonsault on White for near fall. White made a bit of a comeback. He hit a big Uranagi for a 2, which stifled Andrade, did a double down, hit double clotheslines. Following, Andrade hit his big back elbow then for a near fall out of nowhere. This spot was kind of clunky. So, out of the corner, Andrade hit his running knees. And so, it looked like White got hit with the hammerlock DDT by Andrade, and then Juice, and saw the ref. So, kind of looked like missed timing on Juice's part, because it's like right after the 2, he put Jay White's foot on the bottom rope, and you can see the referee was right there, and then it's like right out of the way. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. His foot's on the bottom rope. Like, Juice wasn't there, but hey. Anyways, it was only for a near fall. So, things got a bit clunky at the end, but, World Club Gold got involved. So, Andrade locked in the figure eight on Jay White. The Guns, they were distracting the ref. And then while Andrade was isolated, Juice had this frame that said Cowboy of the Year. He knocked Andrade right in the gut and then cleaned his clock with this frame, which made a heck of a noise. So, behind the ref. But nonetheless, Andrade was out. Jay White followed up, hit a Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3, and Jay White gets the victory over a game Andrade. Now, the match happened. Do we get another? Does Andrade enlist some help against World Cup Gold? We know that next week, Andrade will go for his revenge on Juice Robinson, who cost him the match. So we'll see. But I like how they've been seemingly using Andrade against certain factions. So, Ortiz, he cut a promo, looked like he was up against the wall. So, excuse me. So, yeah, sorry. So, next up, so Ortiz, sorry. So, he talked about his exchange with Santana as Santana had a match with Ronson of the Iron Savages. The match was decent. Mike Santana has obviously voiced how he wants to go down the road of singles. So he was confronted by his former partner. They've had some exchanges on Twitter. Anyway, so point is they had a stare down a bit after the match on Rampage, and Ortiz talked about how let's fight right now, and then Santana just walked off. Ortiz had a smirk. Ortiz talked about, saying a crutch, saying that Santana's doing what he's always done, run from his problems. Saying that from now on you won't be able to run from this problem you have. So, seems like we're going to get a Santana and Ortiz feud against each other, which should be very interesting. Look, we know how skilled they are as a duo. And still, even though he said he wanted to be a single, it still felt a bit deflating. Excuse me. Excuse me. It still felt a bit deflating. Seeing him out there without Ortiz. Because, I mean, saw those guys from their Impact days, from wrestling, House Glory, you. Now they're feuding with each other. And hopefully the beef they have with each other hashes out in this feud, and hopefully it's a great money feud because we know how good they are. Hopefully, ultimately, I hope this feud squashes whatever beef they have. And the idea of them as a tag team is not over because they still have not won the tag team titles. They still have not hit the mountaintop. So, I mean, hopefully that's ultimately what happens. We'll see. We'll see. We had the Workhorsemen versus FTR for open challenge for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Another crappy open challenge. So, Aussie Open, they were at commentary for this match, and it wasn't a long match at all, as FTR won here. Dax locked in a sharpshooter. There you go. Tapped out. They got the W. Okay. Although J.D. Drake had a very good moonsault in this match. But, yeah. Afterwards, Aussie Open got in the ring. Talked about how much FTR has praised them as potentially the best tag team in the world today. And talked about their history together. And Mark Davis talked about how they should be counting their blessings, so to say, for 10 days, keep the towels warm. So, Dax took the microphone, and we know how good Dax is on the microphone. He said he hopes they bring that badass tag team they know. And Dax actually got on his knees saying he's going to pray that they bring that badass team they know. Otherwise, they shouldn't show up. So, Dax threw the microphone and said, "Top guys, out." So there you go. It may steal the show. It may be the best match at wrestledream, FTR Aussie Open. This, I am kind of hoping, FTR said they're the best tag team in professional wrestling history. Maybe preaching a bit. I'm not sure. They're definitely one of my favorites. I'm not sure if I can confidently say that yet. But I am kind of hoping that Aussie Open gets the job done, because we know how good those two are. And it wouldn't shock me, because for another reason, so Ospreay is going to be at wrestledream in that trios match. Ospreay voiced how his contract, New Japan's coming up. Wouldn't it be the thing to try to help sweeten the pot for Ospreay, then on the same night have his boys, Aussie Open, win the AEW Tag Team titles in Seattle? It's thought, because we know how good both these teams are, and it's going to be a fun match. So, can't wait. And I don't think this is going to be the only match. This is the kicker. This will probably not be the only match, we get in AEW of these two tag teams. We'll see. Main event. Ricky Starks, Bryan Danielson, Texas Death Match. I'll be honest, I kinda enjoyed the strap match better. Well, I don't know, it just felt more new and exciting. And that thrill factor because Bryan came in the day before, got this match between Bryan and Starks. This was so fun and brutal, but compared to the strap match, I didn't like it as good or as much. So they were fighting in the crowd. And it looked like Bryan was getting tended to by security as he was in the outer edges of the barricade. So Starks did a big dive off the top on both Bryan and to the security. I was kind of worried because, look, Bryan has the match next week versus Zach, and the last thing you want is, Bryan getting injured. So I was kind of worried. Same with a few spots in his match. So Starks is actually targeting the knee of Bryan, wrapped around the post, used a chair against it. He tried to ultimately get revenge for what happened at All Out. So Bryan choked him out with the strap. Starks tried to choke out Bryan with a chain. There was chains, there was chairs. Good stuff. So Starks used his spear, and then, like I said, tried to use a chair and a chain. No avail. Bryan. So he tried to do what he did at All Out. Tried to choke him out, this time with a chain. After the bicycle knee. And then LaBelle walk, but Starks fought out of it. Laid down some shots on Bryan, but Bryan got out. Wrapped the chain around his knee. And then hit a bicycle knee with the chain. And that ultimately fit. There was one shot where Starks took a chair and it looked like he caught a big cut around his eye. It's like it looked like there was blood pouring down his left side of his face into his mouth. That looked brutal. So like I said, but second knee by Bryan with the chain. Starks is counted out. Again, good that JR is used for the main events. That's good. Anyway, so Bryan won here. I'm suspect about Starks losing in a big match again. Um, but I get it since, WrestleDream next week. I get that. But they're using Ricky Starks much more and kind of the right way. This guy deserves a title, certainly. You know, we don't know how long Ray Phoenix is going to hold the title, international title. And if Moxley's going to come back, or let me change that. How quick Mox will come back and if he'll take the title. But, I mean, they could do a trilogy match. But, with Phoenix being a babyface, Starks being a heel now, I feel it is possible. Starks going after the international title. It's a thought. We'll see though. But, anyways, the second hour was fun. The first hour was but it was fun. Again, Collision has not been what it was, but this week felt like we're close to what it has been, I would say. We'll see how it goes on Dynamite. So we got a Fatal 4-Way preview of the 4-Way tag team match for number one contenders match for the AEW tag team titles at WrestleDream. So should be a nice little matchup. Feels like a WWE style, preview. We'll hear from MJF and Cole. Hear how that match goes, or hear how they feel. Christian, Darby, sit down with JR. I have their match at WrestleDream. Should be interesting. I'm sure more stuff will be added, but seems like a decent going show before WrestleDream, so we'll see. But anyways, guys, thank you all for joining me. Subscribe, click the like, thumbs up, help out with the video. And of course, see them all. Be back next week or Thursday for Dynamite, and of course next week for Collision, and then Monday, depending what time WrestleStream goes up. Presumably Monday, Tuesday-ish. WrestleStream, not this week, but next week. So keep your eyes open for that. Thank you guys. See you guys next week. Peace.